Now, so I was watching TV today, and this young girl would have been 13 years old, right? And the problem is, her family knew the man, and what happened was the man got murdered during the burglary. Well, the thing is, he got taped all up, right? But the thing is, the girl's only 13 at the time, right? Now, she cannot by herself do all that to a grown man, right? Don't even make sense. No. Now, the problem is, what happened was somehow her fingerprints got on duct tape. And there's not a lot of her prints on the duct tape, right? Just two of them, maybe. But they also found 9 other prints at the site, which were not identified, right? As even being hers, right? Now, the thing is, though, her grandfather and grandmother both knew the man, right? But she did not necessarily know the man, right? But based on the fingerprint evidence being on the tape, they convicted the poor girl. I'm like, is this a real case or is this freaking fictional, right? Now, both the grandparents got on the, stand to witness for her. Now, both of them said they knew the man, but the girl didn't, right? But they still convicted her, a jury of her peers, I guess, right? For murder of a man she would not even be able to do that to herself, right? Or by herself. But they found 9 different prints, including hers at the scene, right? Or 10 if you count hers, right? You understand, right? But hers were only on duct tape, right? Which, if you ever dealt with duct tape, right? And it being on the bottom, right? Well, her grandfather would do odd jobs for the man every now and then, right? And again, the grandma would sometimes get a little marijuana from him, right? Again. And she was the last one to call his home, right? Yet only her fingerprints were identified by some, again, what you would call it, the forensic fingerprint analysis person, right? Right. Now, if the other 9 are identified and only hers are, right, you can't say she's a criminal mastermind at 13, right? And somehow got 9 other people who they couldn't identify to attack one man and burglarize his home, tape him all the hell up. And what happened was he died of what's called asphyxiation or lack of oxygen, right? Because they taped his mouth and nose, right? He couldn't breathe, of course, and he died of what's called suffocation, right? As did Jesus on the cross. Hypothetically, there, too, right? Now, right. And again, we'll go over that later, but what kills you on the cross is called congestive heart failure, right? It's not simply that you're dying what's called a slow death, right? Because the longer you're on the cross, the more you're slowly dying. You don't get fed, you don't get this, you don't get that, right? And what you die from is called congestive heart failure from lack of food, good stuff like that, right? and all that, right? So anyway, it was a heart failure that killed Jesus on the cross. That's why out came water and blood. What heart failure is water fills your lungs until they can no longer take in air to feed your heart so that it can keep pumping, right? And as the heart fills up with fluids, right, again, you die from asphyxiation or suffocation, right? Mm-hmm. Now, they had three things connecting the people who were around the man. But the girl herself wasn't even around the man, right? And it looked like a frame job, right? Now, to me. The girl even has a couple of kids by that time, right? And she never felt like her grandparents even cared about her, right? And never really, felt like the house was full of love anyway, right? According to her own statements and the little story right there. But they convicted her to 60 years, tried her as an adult. I know. Like she could even pull that off by herself at 13. Right. And yet 9 other prints were found, and another guy was, through the Ruberville, right? They said that he might have been involved with it, right? But again, he got acquitted, right? Found not guilty, but the girl got found guilty. Right. Now, her mom was put in jail for allegedly shooting some kind of police officer. And again, it just seems so crazy to me, right? Now, see, all they got to prove is reasonable doubt, right? That the girl wasn't even there, right? Now, what they did, though, is say that she would work on projects around the actual home of the grandparents, right? And would be in the garage a lot and may have touched tape that when the grandfather went, to do the odd jobs for the person involved with the murder, who was murdered, and the victim, right? So he would do odd jobs for him, right? And that could also explain why the tape was there, right? That's called reasonable doubt, right, for the granddaughter, right? Because the grandparents knew him, but she may not have even known him, right? She was going to school, things like that, trying to make a better life for herself. She got pulled over for speeding or something when she was 23. Right. Because this is 10 years later, too, right? And none of it makes sense. That how can the jury convict the girl with no real evidence that she could by herself overpower a grown man? I know. And tape him up like that. Just did not make no sense. No, it didn't. But it's called, it was on A&E, I think. This afternoon, right? And right now they got first 48 hours, right? But again, right? you're flipping the script on this, right? Now, for a civil trial, like my cases, I should be winning, right? Not losing, right? Unless there's a corrupt judge or two on the bench, right? Because it's to be treated like a Judge Judy case, right? Not a criminal case. I ain't been charged with a crime. My ex-wife and stepdaughter ain't charged me with a crime, right? I don't go after my stepdaughter and ex-wife since we divorced, right? I ain't seen them. I have real contact with them because they live in another state, right? Too. All right? And I cannot really all the time travel to a faraway state, right? And never have, and never have. Though I did help my friend David with a night stay in a motel. Go to Oklahoma once. And I did have to drive back by myself. Barely got back in time. But did. So I locked the damn keys in the car the night before and had to get me some sleep when I got there, right? And slept most of the day to drive back, drop off the car back to the rental company. And that only happened twice with David, right? And once I even got a speeding ticket, right? First time, right? But bitch, I played, and that police officer, we're going all the way to Oklahoma, and I'm just trying to get on by. I got nervous and panicked, and right. I just paid the fine, right? But that again was in between '04 and '03 is somewhere around there. Right? I don't know. Really. Damn. That was a long time ago. I was still in my 30s, right? And we were both young. Right. Now, the thing is, though, someone's getting nervous, right? About what I'm telling you here on YouTube, right? And I don't even know who it could be, right? That's the problem, right? Whatever they did to me, they did cause me amnesia, but obviously I survived it in a very unusual way. To now they feel threatened by me and could be stalking me, and I don't know what's going on, right? And trying to accuse me of something I can never do with her mom there with her, right? Trying to insinuate I'm so crazy I'll molest the 4-year-old with her mom asleep in the other bedroom with her, right? I don't even know how I would get in there without waking the mom, right? Besides listening to stories I've heard growing up about luring a child out with candy or a puppy or a kitten or something, right? Which I had none of that stuff either. When I usually eat a meal, I usually eat a meal. And the only time I really buy candy is for Halloween. And I didn't even know her mom till Halloween, actually. Because I failed on base, right? Now, it could be a base conspiracy where a gay guy in the Navy was trying to cover up him being gay. But even then, I don't know what they would do about it unless he's still in the Navy. And it's like I can turn back time and prove he even had anything to do with it either. Because again, when you are climbing on the roof either way, and you wake up in the hospital, God knows when later. All right. Thinking you just slipped and fell, and someone found you outside the building, which makes sense, right? If you really slipped and fell, right? And then was dealing with a minor pelvis injury and ankle injury, right? Because it's only 3 stories, right? it can't be that bad. Unless I'm attacked by somebody and found another way down. Which, if I swung up to the roof one way, the best way for me to do it is swing up back on the roof. Though I have three other options, right? I could also try to jump from the window ledge and leave with my right foot, since it's the strongest foot, and land and bend my knees when I land, right? And kind of do a ninja roll. That's to both deal with the shock of the height of the fall, which is still only maybe 20 to 24 feet, and then lower myself down, right? Another story, then jump from there, right? Using the same technique. Or if I could lower myself down to the next floor, and then the next floor, it's only 3 stories. And then I can just jump from the first story when the legend should be fine. That's not even 2 to 4 feet. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm on base, right? I can't even legally get off base without using an ID to get back home, right? So that's the problem there too, right? Now, I'm not against gay people per se, because I got a few relatives I heard through the grapevine may or may not be gay. I don't know, right? I don't hang out in their crowd, and they don't really hang out in mine. And right now I'm disabled, so I'm home a lot, right? I don't really mess with nobody like that, right? If I meet a female even, it will be during the day, right? As I'm going about my business, and then it would be a brief encounter, right? Because other than, eating lunch or, eating food, right? There ain't much I can do, really. Besides that, right? What you talking about, Willis? Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's not just that my ex-wife would know either. Right? It's that I would have to somehow lure the girl to me, right? Without worrying about waking the mother up. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe if she was sleeping in the bedroom that was supposed to be her bedroom, which is called a spare bedroom in a 2-bedroom apartment, and me and the ex-wife now were in our bedroom, and then it was supposed to be when she got back from Arkansas to sleep with her, and then the child sleep in the spare bedroom. Well, I got so nervous because she left me stranded in Tennessee. I was already trying to move back to base from Monday on. Now, it took about either Friday or Sunday or Monday before I got back on base, right? Because they had to find me a room, right? And they found me a room on the 3rd floor. And guess what they also had on the 3rd floor? Other psych patients. Now, this is how brilliant those. Alright. And I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but the Navy put the psych patients on the 3rd floor, the highest floor in the building. All of us, right? And that's when when I went to go to the bathroom to get cleaned up to go out that night with the $250 I thought was in the room. And my little travel bag turned up missing. Just like the keys a few days ago turned up missing, right? They keep turning up missing, right? And I know I don't go nowhere. The last place I went Thursday was Burger King. I can show a receipt for that. Right? Yeah, I threw it away. But anyway, right. And then when I woke up the next morning, the keys were gone. By Friday morning, all I know, right? So could someone have stuck to my house? Yes. But thing is, I don't know who. And they're my keys for my locks too, right? Right now I'm trying to do my grass again, right? And cut my grass, and I'm having a problem with my lock. Because one of them I might have can't quite find the key to, right? And I don't have a way to really cut it off or anything, right? Like I said, right? Now I gotta do something about it before it turns night, so the little girl don't try to get in the pool or something across the street or something. That shouldn't happen. But what I'm thinking about doing is putting the lock on it anyway, one of my older locks, right? And that way, only an adult could still open the door. Right? Now, what I mean by that is, see if I